The Visitor at Midnight, based on The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, first published in 1845. The December night was bitter and unforgiving, its icy fingers creeping through every crack and crevice of the old chamber where a solitary scholar sat hunched over his books. The fire in the hearth had dwindled to glowing embers, casting dancing shadows across walls lined with ancient volumes and forgotten lore. Outside, the wind howled like a living thing in torment, rattling the windows and sending shivers through the lonely dwelling. The scholar was deep in his studies, desperately trying to lose himself in the words on the page before him. These books of forgotten wisdom had become his refuge, his sanctuary from thoughts too painful to bear. He sought solace in philosophy and poetry, hoping that knowledge might ease the ache that had settled permanently in his chest. The loss of his beloved Lenore haunted every waking moment, her absence a wound that refused to heal. As midnight approached, exhaustion began to cloud his mind. His eyes grew heavy as he turned page after page, the words beginning to blur together in the flickering firelight. The chamber was filled with an oppressive silence, broken only by the occasional crack of settling wood and the whisper of pages turning. It was in this drowsy state that he first heard it, a gentle tapping, so soft he might have imagined it. The sound came from his chamber door, barely audible above the wind's mournful song. At first, he dismissed it as nothing more than a late visitor, perhaps someone seeking shelter from the storm. But something about the rhythm of the tapping filled him with an inexplicable dread. It was too deliberate, too measured, as if whatever stood beyond that door was not entirely of this world. When he finally summoned the courage to investigate, he found nothing but the empty corridor and the howling darkness beyond. The night air rushed in like a living thing, extinguishing several candles and sending papers scattering across the floor. Yet the tapping resumed, this time coming from his window, the same measured rhythm that seemed to pulse with supernatural intent. What entered his chamber that night defied all rational explanation. A magnificent raven, its feathers black as the void between stars, swept in with an air of ancient majesty. The bird was enormous, far larger than any natural creature should be, and its eyes held an intelligence that seemed almost human. Without invitation or ceremony, it perched atop a marble bust of Pallas Athena, goddess of wisdom, as if claiming dominion over the very seat of knowledge. The scholar stared in amazement at his unexpected visitor. Ravens were creatures of folklore and superstition, often seen as messengers from realms beyond mortal understanding. This particular bird carried itself with the bearing of royalty, its obsidian feathers gleaming in the candlelight, its presence filling the room with an almost tangible sense of foreboding. Curiosity overcame caution as the scholar began to address his mysterious guest. He spoke of ordinary things at first, marveling at the bird's strange behavior and imposing appearance. But the raven's response to his words sent chills through his very soul. The creature spoke with perfect clarity, its voice deep and resonant, echoing through the chamber like a funeral bell. Its vocabulary, however, consisted of but a single word, a word that would soon drive the scholar to the brink of madness. As the night wore on, the scholar found himself drawn into an increasingly desperate conversation with his enigmatic visitor. Each question he posed was met with the same haunting response, yet somehow the bird's singular answer seemed to address his deepest fears and longings. The creature's dark presence became a mirror for his own tortured soul, reflecting back all the anguish and despair he had tried so hard to escape. The raven perched there like a dark prophet, its unblinking gaze fixed upon the scholar with what seemed like eternal patience. In its obsidian eyes, he saw reflected his own grief, his own desperate hope, and his growing realization that some sorrows are too profound ever to heal.